Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. I'm Emma, behind the camera is Alex, and today is a bit of a hangover travel day where we are travelling from Edinburgh to York. Good morning everyone.
Welcome to a Hangover Travel Beans. We've never done this before.
We haven't, but one of the great things about being hungover in a city centre like Edinburgh is that there's lots of hangover food options.
And we don't have to justify it. So first off, we're going to try and find some Scottish breakfast.
We have found a lovely little place to have our breakfast, and first and foremost I am shocked that I am sat outside in the sunshine wearing a t-shirt in the winter in Scotland. What's going on?
That's global warming for you.
One thing actually that we have been recommended to try to help cure a hangover whilst in Scotland is our good old friend, you may have heard of it, Irn-Bru. This is the national drink of Scotland and actually outsells Coca-Cola, which I don't think there's many countries where that would be true. I've never tried it before. And
How has she never tried it? I know.
Can we get this in England? I guess we can.
Of course we can get it in England.
I've never seen it. So it says it's a sparkling flavoured soft drink. It doesn't specify what flavour it is. I guess it's just Irn-Bru flavour. I'm quite excited actually. Is it going to be orange?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's orange. Okay, cheers. Oh no. Oh no. That kind of reminds me of like cream soda or something, which I really don't like.
I don't know what cream soda is.
Cream soda. Cream soda is just like a fizzy...
It's the American in you, gross.
No, it's a British thing.
Cream soda, it's like a root beer float.
Alright, in the comments, tell Alex how wrong he is. You can buy cream soda in England. But to me, this kind of tastes like that. I expected it to taste like Lucozade or something because it's the same colour.
So is it good? Is it bad?
I mean, it's not my cup of tea, if I'm completely honest.
Let's have a sip. Oh, that reminds me of my childhood.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, I used to drink a lot of that.
Yeah, sorry,
It's not good as an adult.
I wanted to like this, I did. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan, sorry.
And you were shitting on their traditional fare yesterday with the pizza crunch.
Oh, the pizza crunch. Yeah, but the haggis was bloody brilliant. Right, we have ourselves a little mini Scottish breakfast and I'm quite excited to get tucked in.
So we're going to be sharing this just in case you're thinking that Emma's eating meat.
Definitely, we've been eating too much fried food recently, so we're sharing this one. But I will be trying the tattie scone. Scone, which I'm probably the most excited about.
Pretty much why we got this breakfast.
Yeah, and then you got mushrooms, hash brown, beans, haggis for Alex to try, sausage, bacon, and eggs. Okay, I have no idea what this really is, but I think it's a combination of like flour and potato, kind of fried into a little pancake.
And we don't have this in England.
Ooh. It's quite spongy and kind of dry, but I think that would be, which doesn't sound great. But the flavour's really nice, and I think like with eggs and beans and stuff, that would be really great. I think I'd probably prefer that to toast actually. Yeah, I don't know, it tastes really great.
So what, you wouldn't compare it to the hash brown instead of being
No, it's very different. Very, very different from the hash brown. The hash brown is more potatoey, whereas this is more like chewy. I quite like it though.
One of the reasons that we ordered this is I wanted to try black pudding or white pudding, and it doesn't come with that, but it did come with haggis, which did intrigue me. Having tried it yesterday, I loved it. This is a very different setting though, and I don't know if haggis and beans.
First thing on the morning on a hangover as well.
Yeah, please don't be a strong haggis. It works any time of the day.
He bloody loves it.
Haggis for breakfast, honestly, do it.
What?
It's great. Haggis is definitely my biggest surprise in a good way in my most recent travels. Pizza crunch on the last video was one of my biggest surprises in a bad way. Things like the pizza crunch, even though I liked it at the start, it just got worse, and it was so bad. I believe that the Scots are kind of tainting the British reputation for bad food. I think it's all here.
What about the haggis, mate?
I love it.
After breakfast, Alex and I grabbed our bags and headed to the train station yet again. The train journey from Edinburgh to York was gorgeous, with some spectacular views of the northeast coast. And just 2.5 hours later, we arrived in the city of York. The train from Edinburgh to York is bloody beautiful, guys. We had so many of you on our last UK series recommending for us to go to the northeast coastline, and now we completely get why you were saying that. It is bloody beautiful, and the views from the train as you go down the coast is stunning. Highly recommend that train journey. One thing I have to say that Safestay have done brilliantly is choosing locations that are so close to the train stations. It's like a 10-15 minute walk maximum. So you just leave your hostel, you feel a bit hungover and rubbish, but you've only got to walk 10 minutes, then you can sit on a train with lovely views for a couple of hours, step off, 5 minutes later, you're in your next hostel. The room we're staying in at the York Hostel is a 6-bed dorm room. The triple bunks that we featured in the first London video are only at that hostel location, and I do think they'll be replacing them soon for doubles, so this is more what you would have if you were to come.
York has always been my favourite city in the UK, and for those that don't know, this is where I studied, so I have a lot of affection for this place. And there is a specific food that I have never had here. I've seen it, I've always wanted it. I always tell people actually about it, that we have this food here in York, and I've just never justified spending the money for it. I never wanted to pay £7 for it, and I really don't know why, because as soon as I leave, I always say, why didn't I spend the money?
You're a cheap student, that's why.
Yeah, but we've also come when we weren't students, and we still somehow didn't justify it.
We were cheap backpackers at the time.
We have money now, guys. We're rolling in it. A famous Yorkshire food is the Yorkshire pudding, and they have this amazing idea here in York of combining a Yorkshire pudding and the traditional roast dinner and turning it into a wrap. So what I have here is from the York Roast Company, a beef Yorkshire pudding wrap. And to preface to the people outside the UK that a Yorkshire pudding is not sweet. So traditionally you'd have a Yorkshire pudding with beef with your roast dinner. Now we just have it with every roast dinner because it's probably the best part of the meal. So look at this, look, there's a moment. Oh my god, this is outrageous. I mean, outrageous.
I have to say, it's not a looker, to be quite honest. It does look a bit like a train wreck.
Well, a big soggy mess.
Yeah.
But look, inside we're harbouring all the good bits of the roast dinner. You've got your vegetables, you've got a nice generous layer of stuffing, we've got beef. Oh, those smells, it's just a Sunday smell.
I think there's a drizzle of gravy whacked in there too. It smells great, I can smell it from here.
It smells like my grandparents' house when I was a kid. They're dead now. It's true. Okay, this has been so many years in the making. There's no time like the present. It's really weird. It just literally tastes like a roast dinner, like everything in one bite.
I was worried it might be disappointing.
It's not disappointing. Arguably not as good as maybe I thought, but it's a little bit soggy.
Maybe you built it up in your brain, probably.
Well, it's been 8 years and I refused to buy it until now. But that's not to take away from it. It is really good. And like what I really like is the novelty of like old versus new. So you've got like, we've taken a traditional meal and we've turned it into something a bit different. We love wraps, we love roast dinners. I
don't know if they can hear all your mms.
They have ears, Emma. Being hungover is a time for just not caring. Like, I don't care about anything. Anything. Money, doesn't matter. Calories, let's get fat. The hangover day, weirdly, me and Emma love hangover days because we do. We work so much, but when we're hungover, we just don't care anymore.
Yeah, we work 7 days a week. A hangover day is a rare day off.
Yeah. I'm still enjoying it. I thought I was done with this segment, but a little bit outraged. When I look in and inspect further, they have not been very liberal with the beef. And when you're paying £7 for the more expensive one, because you can have a cheaper option for £6 for chicken, pork, but when I pay that extra pound, I expect some good quality beef. It's a little bit dry, which is very traditional for us in the UK, but I just want a generous helping. Like, okay, like they've been very
pathetic amount.
Really pathetic. I have no affiliation with them. Like, I'm a little bit angry.
Outraged.
Yeah, I'm trying to fake my outrage right now, but I'm too hungover to care. Really, it's
it's still good.
Honestly, I could be reviewing that pizza crunch from yesterday right now, and I'd be giving you the 5-star.
York is a city in the northeast of England with a rich history. Founded by the Romans in 71 AD and later invaded by the Vikings in 866 AD, it's a great place to visit for history buffs. The architecture from different eras can be spotted all around the city, such as the iconic 13th century York Minster and the medieval shopping streets of the Shambles, which was awarded the title of the most picturesque street in Britain. Walking along the old city walls is one of our favourite things to do in York. You get a cracking view of the city from above, it's completely free, and it tends to be a lot quieter than walking around the streets in the centre.
In the UK, we have a huge drinking culture, and in the evening, people love to go and get some drunk food. And it's quite funny, you can kind of act like a detective sometimes, because you can work out the story of the night. So this morning, we left the hostel, there's chippies everywhere, and kind of like a breadcrumbs leading up until room 7. We're on to you. We know you're the guys that have smeared chippies all over the floor. But that is not what I want to talk about. What I want to mention to you, especially if you're not from the UK and you come here, something you should be listening out for is the accents. The accents here are just fantastic. Even as a British guy, I just love hearing them. It makes you feel like warm and fuzzy on the inside. You probably would have heard these accents on TV shows, things like Game of Thrones.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
These like northern accents.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. You'll hear things like, he's a right wrong'un. And
you're a right wrong'un, mate.
And that means he's like really wrong. A bad guy, could be a bit ugly or something like that. He's a right wrong'un. I can't do the accent that well, but it's fun to do, so I'm going to butcher it a little bit. Another one is, hey up, Chuck. Hey up. That's kind of like, hey. Right?
Right.
This one's the hardest one for me to do because I can't grasp the accent enough on this, but fancy a brew. That's Scottish.
Yeah,
brew.
So what does it mean if you fancy a brew?
If you fancy a brew, it's like, would you like to have a lovely cup of tea? And finally, flip an heck. It's like the accent's changing. It's
terrible.
It's not great. But this is kind of to express surprise. Ooh, flip an heck.
Oh my God.
Nailed it.
York is home to around 365 pubs, one for each day of the year. And as it was our last night, we decided to visit a few of them before heading back home. We have absolutely loved our UK leg of this trip, from our first proper interview in London to sampling some of Scotland's best and worst foods. However, due to the coronavirus outbreak, we decided to jump off at this point and continue once it's responsible to do so. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, comment and subscribe to see what's coming next on Travel Beats.